I pushed the button.
He pushed the button.
Excellent.
I see flashing. I see it moving. It says watch now.
All right.
I must mute that. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, the weeks I check for it is muted. The weeks I don't check for it, it's not muted. And I find out 30 seconds later.
Yeah. All right. Subscribed with Prime. I renewed my membership there. Okay. So, and I noticed too that if people got a crown next to their name, they're Prime eligible.
Oh, is that what that means?
So it's like I think I noticed it on when I was watching Roger's thing when he was playing Triangle Strategy. So yeah, there's a crown next to your name that says Prime Gaming. And it's probably maybe a choice too. Look, Mecha's even got it too. So as you see that means they have Prime Gaming, and I don't know if it means they're using it potentially, because no, it doesn't. Because when I was watching Rogers, I had the crown there, but I wasn't using my Prime subscription with him. I'm using it for the Nintendo Dads. So I think if you see that crown, that means people have Prime and can potentially use that Prime, that 1 month, that 1 month free Prime subscription thing.
Ebusil says he hides his crown.
Okay.
I don't know where he hides it, but he hides it.
Yeah, we don't need to know that. We don't want to know details.
He hides it when the sun doesn't shine.
Well,
all right. With that, let's get this party started. All right, here we go. You guys ready? 3, 2. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 366, recorded on March 10th, 2022. On tonight's episode with special guest Nick Metzger from Game Pass News, we discuss Mario Day 2022. And we also talk about Nintendo's latest news. Very little bit, but we talk about it. And your questions. Jesse, you know what to do. Welcome to the Nintendo Dads. And yes, it is just Jesse, myself, and our special guest, Nick, which means that our normal dumpster fire show is not that. It's going to be even more horrible. So I'm sorry because I'm running the show. But hopefully that's why we got Nick on. He'll help us pick up the pieces and stuff like that. And then Jesse is, employee of the year every year. So it won't be too bad, I'm sure. So anyways, I'm Tim, your host today, along with the co-host, Jesse. How you doing, Jesse?
Pretty good. Is it a fire-ear dumpster or a dumpster-ear fire?
We'll see. By the time the end of the show goes, that maybe that.
Which one is the adjective and which one is the noun?
Right. We'll figure it out. Maybe it's going to be dumpster-ear. I don't know. We'll see. How you been doing this week, Jesse?
Rough week at work, like normal, but glad the majority of the week's over. So Friday is like our easier day.
Yes.
No scheduled meetings on Fridays, so I can actually get real work done.
Nice. Well, with getting real work done, that's why we have Nick here. Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing really good, Tim. I cannot thank you guys enough for having me on. Also, there's already too much grammar talk for me in this podcast. I have no idea what y'all talking about with these adjective nouns, and I don't know. But anyways, I am really excited to be here, and I'll try not to dump kerosene on your dumpster fire. So try
then
to dump
that would
water.
make it firier then
okay,
right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And look, there's my mom. Say hi, Mom. See, she's on camera. So she's like, what? I'm on camera. What? And you're also on live hot mic. Anyways, this is our show this week. And with that, let's
be professionals.
Let's jump into the news. And our news is always brought to you by our Patreons at patreon.com NintendoDads, or excuse me, patreon.com/NintendoDads. And then, as always, a huge thank you to all of our Patreons who joins us and helps us keep the lights on here and helps us do all the wonderful things that we try to do with you guys. In fact, if you've joined recently or if you've been on and you're one of our $10 subscribers, you would have received our recent drop, which was our Kirby art that was drawn by Adam, which is Kirby and The Last of Us drawing, essentially. It's a cross between those two games, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it's freaking good.
I haven't even seen it yet. I need to go look.
What?
It's basic. Kirby needs to shave. He's got a little
That's
stubble
for sure.
going. You know, he's got a little
Apparently,
stubble going. And probably needs a good hot shower too. So he got some things splashed on him. So, but yeah, Kirby's got a rough going in that one, but it's pretty awesome. So if you are a $10 subscriber, you get that plus so much more. But of course, we're thankful for anybody who comes and joins us, whether you're $1, $10, $5, $30, or even if you're just here listening, we're happy to have you here, and thank you for listening as always. So, gentlemen, today is Mario Day. What do you guys think? Did you think Nintendo celebrated enough today by dropping some news about Super Nintendo World and the new Lego Super Mario expansion sets and characters that'll be coming out later this year? You think that's enough to celebrate Mario Day?
Yeah, one of the pieces of news was kind of leaked yesterday but the other one was pretty significant.
Yes. Yeah. The Super Nintendo World is going to launch in Universal Studios Hollywood in 2023. From what I understand, that's actually sooner than what we were told for Florida, but Florida is supposed to be bigger too. So I guess Florida will be 2025. But Universal Studios Hollywood will get our own finally here in the US in 2023. Maybe that's when we can have a Nintendo Dads conference thing, right? Do it over at the Super Nintendo World.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I would be so miserable, but I
Nick,
don't do theme parks well.
Oh, okay. Well, Nick, are you planning on going to one of these at some time?
I'll definitely go at some point. I mean, without a doubt. It won't be like I won't be there when it opens. For sure not. It'd be too crazy. Probably, yeah, it'd be too crazy, too expensive, and probably wouldn't even be worth it, really, because I'm sure the crowds would just like I don't even know if you really get to experience much. So I'll wait until a bunch of people go and they can tell me how to best do it, and then yeah. But it'll be like it'll be on my bucket list of things to do for sure, is to go to one of these. I don't know which one. I don't really care. I'll let my wife pick. I'll be like, listen, I want to go to either one of these spots. You choose which one. But yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, just getting to see little bits and pieces of like the food that they're doing. And yeah, I just, how can you not want to go and feel like you're in Super Mario World? Like, how can you not want to go? I know. Yeah.
That is crazy. Jesse, so you said you don't like crowds. Would you still go at some point?
I would probably do it once just to say that I did it once. But I've been to that theme park before, and I remember I was miserable. I was a lot of walking, a lot of lines, and
a lot of
people. And this was we went there on our honeymoon when I got married. So it was a while ago.
Okay. Yep. So lots changed. I was at the one in Florida a long time ago too. I was 17 when I went. So that's millions of years ago. So it's been some time. Well, that is one way though to celebrate Mario Day, by announcing that you're going to open up another theme park in the United States. In the year that's going to open. I thought maybe they would have some sort of movie drop, but hey, maybe they'll save that for E3. Maybe we'll see. They also announced new Lego Super Mario expansion and sets and characters, which will be releasing later this year, which will include the fabulous new Lego Peach. So, which, like Jesse mentioned, was leaked yesterday. What's that?
Fabulous.
It's fabulous. Yes. So fabulous, right? Is that how you're supposed to say it? Fabulous.
I think that's how it works. Yes.
So it makes sense. Releasing later this year, more than likely it's during the holiday season, right? So what do you guys think? Nick, are you buying into any of these Super Mario expansions? You've got them all, don't you? No.
No. I mean, we have 3 or 4. The kids love putting them together, but they just then they just sit there. So I was like, I'm not gonna spend all this cash on these. I actually wouldn't mind just collecting the little figurines if I could just get the Peach and the Mario. We have the Mario, but just getting all the different little figurines.
I agree.
I don't need all the Lego. I don't need all the Lego sets. The kids, and they should be like prime age for this kind of stuff. So I don't know, but they're just not into it. They'd rather play with Play-Doh and stuff like that. So I'm not sure why.
Play-Doh's not bad. I would take a Mario Play-Doh thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be real cool. See, come on, we just thought a whole new product.
Mario just stomp on a Play-Doh, character, and then it squishes.
Yeah, I actually could really see that. That's a really good idea.
And then you got to clean it out though when you're done. Otherwise, it gets really funky.
True.
No doubt. Play-Doh toys are the worst to clean. There's no doubt, because for sure kids never clean them well. They never get. You
always find a chunk of it left somewhere, and then it turns to stone.
It's true.
I never bought my kids Play-Doh just because I didn't want to deal with that.
Oh my goodness!
Just rule it out completely.
Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, so I agree with you, Nick, that it would be cool if we could get the figures separately, or even like when they release Peach, it'd be cool if you could buy like a pair of not a pair, a set of the 3 characters, Mario, Luigi, and Peach. I think that would be cool if they did something like that, because I actually like the Luigi's Mansion stuff. So it's like I've been kind of like that'd be cool to have, but then I'm like, where would I put it? Right. So yeah, I still have a bunch of other Legos I got to build and put somewhere. So but yep, that's pretty exciting. So that's basically, unless I missed something, that's pretty much how Nintendo celebrated Mario Day. But later on, we'll talk about how the rest of you guys might be celebrating Mario Day yourselves. And
they had the sale too, right? They had the
yes, and we'll be talking about that as well.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We'll talk about Mario Day some more soon. All right, so F-Zero X was announced as well to release on the N64 NSO Plus expansion pack, and it's dropping probably right now when you're listening to this on your podcast feed. Not for you guys listening live. You got to wait. But when this drops in your podcast feed, it should be live, I'm guessing. So what do you guys think of that? F-Zero X. Jesse, you were telling us the story of what you thought it was.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know there was an N64 F-Zero game. So when I first saw this show up on Twitter, I thought this might have actually been a new F-Zero game announced. And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh, it's not. Never mind.
Can you imagine how bonkers the internet would have gone if a new F-Zero game would have dropped?
Exactly.
Yeah, it would have been bonkers. Nick, what do you think of this F-Zero X?
I mean, I'm excited for it for a hot second. I'll play it for a minute, is for sure. I will boot it up. That's what I'll do for it. And then I probably won't touch it again. But, it's cool if it's there for everybody who wants to experience it and maybe love it.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and the first thought was, this kind of looks ugly. It's an N64 game.
Well, it's an N64 game, yes.
I was going to say, they all kind of look ugly on the
yes.
The cars look like they're made out of Play-Doh molds.
It looks interesting, though, when I was watching the video, too, is the cars look like they're polygonal, but the tracks look like they're still 16-bit in a way. For speed, maybe. I don't know. It didn't look like the tracks were polygonal. They looked like they were still sprites or something else.
That's interesting.
A textured background.
A texture, yeah, something that it looked fine, but the cars were definitely more polygonal. I'm looking forward to trying it out because I love race games, and I never got to try this one out. So looking forward to trying this one out.
They could have really made me excited if they would have been like, and also the N64 controllers in stock.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, hey, now I'm really excited.
Very
That would have been
true.
great. But yeah.
I'm more or less trying to play them because I guess I don't have nostalgia for N64 because I didn't have that system. So I just want them to play with my Joy-Cons. I just want them to work that way without feeling I need to have the controller, the original controller. So
yeah, and they don't. That's the.
Right.
I was playing Banjo-Kazooie, and I beat the game, but there's the extra mission of beating the witch. To beat the witch, I can't do it on that controller. It just doesn't on the current controller, just because of the way it's set up. I need the C buttons. And so, yeah, I would love an N64 controller. Buy it in a heartbeat.
They don't do the C buttons in the Joy-Con configuration.
I didn't know if you wanted me to get into it. So when Banjo shoots eggs on the N64 controller, you'd hit the Z button and then you'd press up on the C or down on the C to make him shoot forward or back.
Okay.
Well, they have mapped the camera, the quarter turn of the camera, and also the C button movement to the same thing. So it was janky through the game, but you can make it work to where if you push it every once in a while, the camera would turn a quarter and then you'd shoot an egg because it's got the full movement up and down. If you don't push exactly up, then the camera turns and then he shoots an egg. And
you're doing this on the right stick then, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so that I was able to make it work because it didn't need to be like split second or even less than that when it comes to the game. But with the final witch boss, you need to just duck and shoot an egg and move. And if you miss, then she gets you and you're done. I even with save states, I have not been able to beat the witch because every time I go to shoot an egg, the camera turns just enough that I miss it and then I die. And I was like, I'm done until I get the N64. So
wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I've been wanting to play Banjo-Kazooie too, or also I should say.
Also,
all right, I'm gonna have to think about that.
You can play the whole game.
It, right?
Yeah,
right.
you can play the whole game. This is literally like the darker side of the moon on Odyssey, basically.
Okay. Okay.
So I beat everything, and then she's like, "You should go back up and try the witch because she ran away." And it was like, oh, because I've already saved Tui now. And so it's like, oh, okay. So I went back up there to do that. And I'm cheating the heck out of it.
Is it post game?
I'm saving every time I can. And I still just can't beat this one section because of that one mechanic. But
all right.
So yeah, don't be afraid to play the game.
Okay.
You can make it through most of it. It's just
it's in the backlog. It's something I'll go to later.
Mm-hmm.
I still got other things to play and beat. Obviously, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right. Monster Hunter digital event was announced with they'll be talking about more information about the Sunbreak expansion. That event will be March 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time because it happens after the change of time.
it does.
So Monster Hunter Rise will get an NSO trial starting tomorrow for a week. So there you have it. Check it out. And if you don't have the game and you are checking it out, there's plenty of us in the community who's played that game that would probably be happy to jump back in with you. So just holler.
Normally go on sale for a bit after the trial's over. So
yes. So opportunity to check it out and get ready for the expansion coming this summer. So, all right. Game release updates. We've got the announcement of Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp being delayed because of the current events. Obviously, we all know what the current events are, being the impending doom in Russia and Ukraine. So hopefully that changes swiftly.
So here's a little
for the good
fun fact. Fun fact is probably the wrong word for this, but the GBA release of the original version was released in North America first. Do you know when?
No.
September 10th, 2001.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which then the worldwide release that was scheduled for later got postponed due to quote unquote current events. So this game's cursed or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Advance Wars apparently just needs to go back into the closet. I don't know.
All right. I didn't know that. That's crazy. But yep, so it's been delayed indefinitely, and we don't know when it will be released, but we're guessing maybe probably fall if things turn out well to do that. So what about you guys? You guys have any guesses as to when it might get released?
Well, I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
Right.
They canceled pre-orders. If you pre-ordered on eShop, it got canceled, and it's still some people said it was delisted. It's not. It's still there, but it's marked as TBD.
Okay.
So, and I saw a tweet, I think from Wario64, saying if you pre-ordered from Target, you got an email saying this game is delayed. Do you still want it, or do you want a refund? And so you're supposed to respond to that. So it doesn't sound like it'll be anytime soon.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're trying to look at the market. They're trying to look at the current events, trying to feel out not only like, well, what's going to happen with the war in Ukraine, but also, how does our demographic, how do our customers feel about us releasing this game even after that happens? So I think they're really trying to feel all that out at this moment and try to see what is right for their customers and what's right for their business. And they're probably also trying to think, we know that they're pretty slotted in fall. So it's not like you want to just chuck this game into an already pretty full schedule. So
yes,
yeah, probably all that together mashes things up a little bit, or a lot of it.
I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't go until next year.
That's also true. Very good points all around there. All right. On to different news. The House of the Dead remake was given a release date of April 7th, which I'm excited about. Actually, Sammy and I are both excited about because we were looking forward to this dropping last year, and we heard nothing because it was supposed to drop in 2021, and nothing was even mentioned about a delay or anything. So it was good to finally hear that they have a release date. So we're looking forward to that. How about you guys? You guys like the shooters like this in the arcades?
I liked them in the arcade back in the day, but it's something I've never wanted to play at home.
Okay.
I have absolutely no interest. But is this one of those games that released already on other consoles, and we were just waiting? Because I feel like it released on Xbox and PlayStation.
I don't think it was released. No, okay. I don't believe so.
I'm probably wrong.
I could be wrong too, but it wasn't. I'm not aware of it being anywhere else.
Okay.
And other than we had fun playing it in the arcade.
Right.
So
yeah. Okay.
The other more exciting thing that was announced just the other day was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. What do you guys think of that? It's going to be. It will include the following games, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade, Ninja Turtles for the NES, Turtles 2 for the arcade game for NES, Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project for NES, Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters for the NES. Man, there was a lot of Turtles games for the NES.
No.
Turtles 4, Turtles in Time for the Super NES, Turtles Tournament Fighters for the Super NES, Turtles the Hyperstone Heist for Sega Genesis, the Tournament Fighters for Sega Genesis. There must have been a difference between those two, as usual usually for Genesis and SNES games. Fall of the Foot Clan for Game Boy. Turtles 2 Back from the Sewers Game Boy game. Turtles 3 Radical Rescue for Game Boy. All of those games for $40, physical or digital, and dropping in 2022. What do you guys think?
I'm actually on the fence. When I first saw this, I'm like, I don't think so. If I want to play the arcade game, I already have a way to do it, and I've really never felt like the need to go back and play any of the others. But going back, I'm like, I might try the NES game again. I remember it being hard. I do remember beating it at some point. And a lot of these other games I never played before.
It was 13 games, 13 Ninja Turtle games.
Yeah, 3 versions of Tournament Fighters.
It's crazy. I had no idea there was this many. I mean, and I thought I've played a handful of these games. It's funny, I couldn't tell you which ones they were. So I'm definitely buying it. I'm gonna, just pop into each of them. I don't know what it'll look like. I'm kind of interested in like being like, hey Noah, let me show you that's my son, by the way. Noah, let me show you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is like what your dad was into when he was your age, because he doesn't really. I don't know. It's not in his radar. I'm sure of that. So see if he's interested, and then I don't know. For me, it also begs the question of like, well, wait, what is it? Shredders? What is the name of the new?
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, So that immediately was like, oh, this is cool. I saw TMNT and I was like, oh, maybe it's coming soon. The new one. I was like, oh, okay, this is still cool. But wait, when is that game coming?
Right. I think a lot of people. I did see a lot of people asking like, I wonder if this will drop before or after that. So.
Yeah. And this game was announced during the Sony PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of debate whether is this Sony only or is this going to be everywhere. And then about a half hour later, Konami dropped a video saying, "Yep, it's going to be everywhere."
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm a sucker for collections, so I'm more than likely going to get this as well, especially physical, so that Sammy could play it or anybody else in the house can play it. Essentially, that has a Switch. But the other thing that this also reminds me of, to bring up one more time, is this is why we don't have the virtual console anymore.
Yep.
Because companies
totally
know they can make money off of their games. So they're gonna create a collection.
Yeah. At least those arcade games would probably be good games for you to play together with Noah.
Yeah, I'm really pumped for that. I mean, some of those fall flat. He's like, no, Dad, I'm out. But but it's still fun for him to just experience it. And I don't know, maybe he'll become a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. I'm all down for that. Like, let's do it.
So far, any games that I've tried that with Sam, where it's like, okay, here's some beat 'em ups, like Streets of Rage or Scott Pilgrim too. I mean, he likes going back to that more often than the Streets of Rage one. I'll give him that. But any of the beat 'em ups that we've tried to play, because the co-op games, it's just like he plays them for a minute with me, and then he's like, I want to play something else. It's like, okay. So it's interesting. But again, we'll see if this one sparks an interest or whatever, because he used to have Ninja Turtle toys too when he was a little bit younger. So we'll see if it.
I don't think Noah's had anything Teenage Ninja Turtles. I don't think he has anything. So yeah, I'm interested to see how he's gonna be like, what is this? So
we'll report back to everybody once we figure it out. All right. With that, let's move on. Any other news you guys want to talk about before we move on? Any other points?
All I got.
All right. Well, let's move on to Let's Discuss. I guess I should be looking in the chat. You guys notice anything in the chat going on? I see a bunch of Mecha Dragon comments here. I can see he's got a lot to say there. But thanks to everybody for stopping by and hanging out with us in the chat. We got Hambone, it looks like, Mecha Dragon, and Friendo. Ebicel was on earlier. It's still on, it looks like. And Eating Donuts over on YouTube. And I don't know if we got anybody on Facebook World over there. Sometimes Bruce is over there. So thank you all for stopping by and hanging out in the chat. I can't keep an eye on that over and keep an eye on the show notes, so it's hard for me to do both at the same time. But thanks for hanging out there. So if you guys notice anything, just let me know. Just say, hey, Tim, hold on. All right. So let's discuss something here, Nick. You and I have been playing Breath of the Wild. I don't know about you. Sounds like you're a lot farther than I am, but we've both been playing for the past 5 years with breaks, obviously, in between.
Yeah.
So, because we're still playing our day one game, right?
Yes. Yep. 100%.
So, and been playing it for the past 5 years, and I finally jumped back into it. And after, I guess, having a little bit more experience with some of these open world games, I got a better idea of how to handle them. Because when I first started playing Breath of the Wild, I was so stuck on the southeast corner of that map, just doing everything I could find in there. That's why I didn't have anything else open, just doing everything there, that I didn't get any farther until more recently, where if you follow me on Twitter, I've been posting, when I open up new sections of the map and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that thread's really cool.
I've gotten up to the point where I'm ready to get ready. I'm starting to get ready to go after the Divine Beast number 2, which is the bird one. I forget his name, but Reno or something like that. But going after him, and I know I got to dress warm and eat warm. And then Jesse just told me about a fire blade. Keep that on me if I can get one of those. So, but with that being said, Nick, you told me during the pre-show that you're pretty much done. You realize that, oh, wait, I'm a lot farther than I thought I was, and I'm ready to go after Ganon.
Yeah,
what you said.
I mean, well, I'm there. I'm at the castle right now. Like as I told, I was chatting. I made for once in my life a good adult decision and went to bed at midnight instead of like, I really wanted to. Like, I had the whole animation happen where you see Ganon. That's all I'll say. I don't want any spoilers here. And so I was like, and then it was like boom, and I was like, oh, I really need to go to bed. Like, I don't know how long this is going to take, but it's going to take longer than it probably should. I need to be sleeping. But yeah, it's so weird that like I played, I meant to look, but I think it's around 100 hours of that game. And it wasn't like broke up over 5 years. It was like I think I played about 85 hours, and then I got back into it for a hot second and beat the desert champion probably like 2 years later or something like that. And I can't think of her name. I actually died. I kept dying, and I was like, why do I? Because I was dressed as a girl. I realized because there's a mission anyways. And so you have to dress as like this desert lady. And I realized that I didn't have the right suit of armor on at all. And I kept dying by these people anyways. And so, yeah, it was very, very, very funny. I've put probably 3 hours into it, and I'm at Ganon. I could have finished it off in no time. So yeah, it's funny how we do things.
That is funny. But definitely, you're going to be beating it a lot quicker than I am. Because right now, like I said, I'm going after my second Divine Beast, which is, again, one of the wonderful things about Breath of the Wild is how people played it, how they went for each individual Divine Beast, or in some cases, not even. I've heard people just go straight for Ganon and actually beat the game, I think, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So, or beat Ganon, I should say, at least, because you still to get everything about the story, you gotta collect memories too, right? Jesse, you played it, right?
Yeah, if you go right to Ganon from the start, you're not going to get the memories. But it is possible to just right from the get go to the castle. Since you haven't done the Ganon blights earlier, you got to do them all in a marathon, and then do the final boss that's fully powered up because you don't have the Divine Beasts there to help you.
Gotcha.
So top time 24 minutes to beat Breath of the Wild.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, there you go. Yes.
And I've been playing for over 60 hours myself. So for the past 5 years.
I think I had over 150 hours into that game.
Yeah. My daughter beat it over a couple summers ago.
Yeah. So I rolled credits, and then I went back and cleared up all the shrines, and then I tried playing as much of the DLC as I could handle, but never did collect all the Korok crap.
That's a job. That would be a job, man.
I just go along collecting them along the way, if I happen to run into it, because I do like exploring a little bit. I've been trying to, like I said, I've been trying to stay focused. I'm only exploring within reach along my path to get to that Divine Beast. So, I actually, during the Gaming for Guru, I played a good chunk of it there. And people saw me struggle. In fact, Ebicel famously said it was sad to watch.
That's true. I witnessed this. Not the sad to watch part, but Ebicel say it was sad to watch. Sorry, let me clarify.
It was kind of funny. So he said it in the chat. And anyways, it probably was sad to watch because I fought that mini guardian in the shrine like so many times because one, I forgot how to dodge. Two, I forgot how to what's the move where You move in like slow motion and attack something. But there's like a flurry attack or something like that. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, with a perfect dodge.
Yeah, the perfect
Oh
dodge.
yeah,
I had to
yeah.
learn that. I learned so much from that one battle. It reminded me how to dodge, how to do the flurry
Did you
move.
relearn how to do the shield reflect?
I couldn't get that to go with with that one to reflect the beam of the mini guardian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when he did his beam, it was like full blast and it destroyed my shield. So I didn't have the right shield or something. Like it was a metal shield, but it did not reflect it, or I didn't do it in time. Probably more than likely didn't do it in time. So I didn't mess with that anymore because it immediately like blew up my shield and then I'd die.
I don't know if it's referenced in the game or just like in story content outside the game, but apparently the story goes that Link, when he first reflected a beam back at a guardian, he was actually using a pot lid.
Okay. You can get a pot lid in the game somewhere. I think I
Yeah.
had one at some point. So, but again, this game is fantastic. Every time I play it, I'm like, okay, this is why this is game of the year. And in fact, I'll say this. I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. I actually asked Adam from the Mega Dads. I said, "Hey, can I have your hot take? The beginning of your hot take videos?" Because I wanted to turn it into a GIF and show that it was a Mega Dads and a hot take. Because I had a hot take about Breath of the Wild, and that is that at first I was like, it's hard to say because I know I'm going to get feedback on this, that it's might not be the game of the year that everybody thought it was.
It was the game of the year in 2017, but not necessarily 5 years later.
It's
is
true.
What you're saying.
No, well, it's like basically, why did everybody love it? Because it was obviously new. It was Breath of the Wild. It was Zelda, Legend of Zelda, right? And Nick, I don't know if you had any thoughts about this while you were playing it too. Like, is this truly the number one Zelda game that a lot of people call it? And a lot of people don't. Some people say it's still their number one is still going to be any of the other Zeldas, whether it be 3D or 2D. And maybe because of nostalgia, like for me, Link to the Past is my number one Zelda right now. So, but again, as I keep playing, I'm reminded as to why this was Game of the Year in 2017. So it's like, okay, that's why I kind of haven't posted it. I was going to post it on Twitter and everything. And then I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. let me play this to the end and see if this is everything that it should be. So, what do you think, Nick?
I mean, what I will say for it is it to be as big of a game as it is, and to be able to hop in and hop out over 5 years, and be able to keep the story. I mean, I knew exactly where I was supposed to go, and exactly what I was doing, because that menu system is so solid. I mean, I will just hit the button and it's like, hey, this is what you got to do. Here's what you got to do. It's on the map. It'll pinpoint it. And I mean, there are a lot of games that don't do that. And
unlike other menu systems we talked about on pre-show.
yeah. And
Right.
Don't do that as solid and as fluent as Zelda does it. It deserves a lot of credit for that. It is, I mean, I haven't beat it, so you can give me crap about that, but it is probably my favorite. It is my favorite Zelda at this point. And Wind Waker, I love Wind Waker. I mean, absolutely love Wind Waker. That was my favorite Zelda until this one. But
so from my point of view, by the way, Sean, thanks a lot for the raid. I see that we got raided from We the Nerdy, so that is freaking awesome. Thank you. Pretty cool. So, but yes, that for me, I think it's probably harder because of Link to the Past. A 2D Zelda game is my all-time favorite Zelda game. And 3D Zeldas have always been harder for me to like. So I've tried a few, even when we got the remakes, the 3D Majora's Mask and the Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. I tried to play those, but just could not, just for whatever reason, just wasn't my thing. Anytime there's a 2D Zelda, though, I play that from start to finish, beating the game. And Link to the Past is still my number one, but Link to the sequel that came out for the 3DS, the Link Between Worlds, is a very close second, because I thought that was very, very well done and stuff like that. So that's what made me start thinking of that, is like, okay, I need to finish this game because I do enjoy it. It's not like any other Zelda games where it was like I was going in and I felt like I was forcing myself to play the 3D Zelda. This one, I'm not forcing myself. What I'm forcing is me trying to finish the game. When I was playing before, it was more of just going in and letting wherever the game took me go. That's where I was having the most fun. Not saying I'm not having fun now, because it's more of focus. I want to get the story done so that at least I can say that I got that done, and then I can explore some more. But that's what made me start thinking of Breath of the Wild. I can't, for those, like, I think it was Marty who said that he didn't give Breath of the Wild Game of the Year that year. He gave Odyssey Game of the Year. And I was surprised at that because of how much people were all over Breath of the Wild. And I mean, even when I was playing it, I was like, how can you say that? And I loved Odyssey. I beat Odyssey, and I could see why he could pick that. But then it was, at the same time, I was just like, but look at Zelda. So just, and what was that? Truth Ebicel says Zelda 2 equals the best Zelda, and Jesse agrees.
Yes.
So Jesse, what do you think? So obviously you're saying Zelda 2 is your best, your favorite, right? So
yeah, I liked Breath of the Wild, but again, I've said this before, it's a game I don't think I'll ever want to play again, just because I can't ever play it again for the first time.
Yeah.
And it is such a time sink in order to do it.
Yeah,
Even though I've forgotten probably everything about the game, so it would virtually be a first time through, but it still wouldn't be the first time through.
You don't think there's no more surprises in there too? So in the game for you, if you were to go back in?
Other than 700 Korok seeds, I did all the shrines, I did all the side quests, I did as much as everything that I could do, other than the Korok seeds.
Okay.
And I didn't finish all the DLC, just because, the one hit kill weapon, really pissed me off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did finish that part where I had normal weapons again, but still, that just sucked a lot of the joy out of it.
Interesting. Okay.
For me, I chose to go back and finish it really because Breath of the Wild 2 is coming up. And so I was like, all right, I want to finish this. And I'm with you, Jesse. I would not, and I said this on our podcast. I said, listen, I will not play this game from start. Like, if I can't find my save and it's not there and saved, I'm not going back. I will just go on YouTube and look up the ending.
Yeah.
I
played through Wind Waker, I think 2 or 3 times. I will play that again if it ever comes out on Switch. I do want to play Twilight Princess again if that comes out on Switch. Again, I played my second run on the Wii and finished it a week before they announced it for the Wii U. And at that point, I'm like, I'm not ready to play this yet.
Right.
And then I want to play Minish Cap again. I want to play Breath of the Between Worlds again. So I still want to play a lot of Zelda. It's just there's so many other games I would need to play first.
Right. But that's interesting. You say that all those other Zelda games you're willing to go back to, but Breath of the Wild, you're just, nope. I had my experience. I'm done.
Yep.
So interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The open world aspect, like, you said, well, I played Odyssey and I beat Odyssey. And it's like, well, sure, Odyssey has an open world aspect, but there's still a straight line through it, right? There's still like this, and sure, there's a straight line story through Breath of the Wild. But man, I'm going to beat that game. Yeah, I'm going to beat that game and not see like you said, well, aren't there surprises for you, Jesse? There's certainly surprises left in that game for me. I will beat this game, and there will be things in there that I never saw, and I'm okay with that. But I don't think 5 years ago. I wasn't okay with that, and I think that's kind of why I just dropped it, because it was like, gosh, I am Breath of the Wild out at the moment. Like I've just played, but I really don't want to like cross that finish line with so much stuff here. But now I'm kind of at this point where it's like, all right, you just got to cross the finish line and be okay with the fact that there's a lot you're not going to see, and that's okay. Just see the end and be good with it.
Episode's question: do either of you have the Wolf Link amiibo?
Yes, and I used it. I love using it because it gives me a dog companion when I'm traveling through, and it helps me collect things and attack things, especially the smaller things. So the frustrating thing was when I went into a shrine and came out and the dog was gone. You can't use it again in the same 24-hour period, the amiibo. So can't get the dog
I
back.
replied in the chat, but I'll say it here too. I have that amiibo, but without playing Twilight Princess in the Wii U, he's pretty much worthless. Because he'll only have 3 hearts.
Oh.
Because
Well, I thought it was 3 automatically. Okay.
Yeah, the gimmick is you play Twilight Princess on the Wii U, there's like a 50 level dungeon thing. That if you finish it and then you tap your amiibo to save that progress, then whatever hearts you have at that point will carry over into Breath of the Wild.
For the dog. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So the dog will have like 50 hearts?
20 at most, I think.
Or 20? Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I wonder if there's a way I can hack that dog.
Hack the dog.
Episode says there's a bin file you can play with an Android phone and tweak the dog, but...
Okay, Episode, you're gonna have to tell me how to.
I was gonna say, God bless you, Episode. You're like on that kind of stuff, man. I was like, oh, don't worry, I got you. You just let me show you what you got to do. We'll get you 50 hearts by the end of the night.
Yes. Show me how I can do amiibos on my phone, because I've been trying to hunt for that myself and I couldn't find anything. So all right. All right. So
Episode says he was asking if it's possible. So that we don't know.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. I've been trying to look that up. Yeah, I've been trying to look that up.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's a way to do it.
Yeah, because there's NFC at my phone. And it's just, it's like, there's got to be a way. I'm sure there's probably an Amazon Zelda card amiibo set that you can get, that will have the 50 heart version of the dog.
Or someone will just sell their full heart dog on eBay.
True. Yeah, for $50.
I'm sure that's happened.
More than that.
More than 300. Yeah, that's true. All right. So here's the ultimate question I have for you, Nick. And it comes down to this, because I have not played Elden Ring. I don't have it because
good decision.
I figured, I'll say this, from all what you expect as far as how hard it is to fight those battles with the bosses, kind of made me think of Metroid Dread and how hard it was to fight those bosses in those games. Is it anything like that, or is it a whole different level, something different? Doesn't even compare.
I mean,
apples and oranges.
A little bit, and here's why. Because I haven't beat the first boss. I've put probably 10 hours into this game. I haven't beat the first boss. Sorry, Dad's show. My bad.
Yes, family-friendly show.
Haven't beat the darn boss.
Yeah, Justin isn't here. I expect to not have to censor anything.
Yeah, sorry. I'll try to make that happen for you, Jesse. And so when you get to the boss in Metroid Dread, now correct me if I'm wrong, but for most, because I did beat the game, but maybe there's a way to do this where you don't. You have the items you need to beat the boss, correct? Isn't that there's no way to get to a boss where you don't have the items to beat the boss? Is that?
You have the items. Just a matter of, do you know how to use the items?
Yeah. Okay. But see, there's also a piece of that to the Elden Ring, but the thing is, like, I can get to the boss, but it might not be time for me to beat. So I don't know if we affectionately call this horned nemesis Margaret. His real name is Magret, I think, but It's probably why he's so pissed, because we all just started to call him Margaret. Or Margie. I can't remember. Anyways,
you might
but
be at
I
the
don't
wrong
know.
first
Like,
boss.
am I just really freaking bad, or am I not leveled up again? So like, I beat my head
Both.
against the wall for like 10 times. Yeah, both. Yeah, amen, Jesse. You are 100% right. I beat my head against the wall multiple times, and then I like go and I level up a few more times, and I come back and I'm like, oh well, crap. Okay, I'll do it again. And so that's kind of the difference. Whereas if like you get to the boss in Metroid Dread, you know you got what you need to get. Now you just need to do it enough to beat it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the difference. Whereas I can wander myself, which I did, by the way, in the first couple hours. I can wander myself into that boss, and Margaret can hit me with his big old stick and send me home, which he did multiple times. And so, yeah, that's the main difference. Yeah, is it harder? Okay. Man, I don't know. I played that final boss on Metroid Dread multiple times, but yeah,
you felt like you were getting somewhere. In Elden Ring, it doesn't feel like you're getting somewhere.
Well, I felt like I was getting somewhere, but it really goes down to the fact it's like, listen, this can be done. I have everything I need to get it done. And so I just need to keep trying and figuring out the patterns and make it happen. But with Elden Ring, you don't really know. You're like, well, listen, what if I'm not at a level really where I should be for this boss? What if I don't have the items I should have? What if I haven't used enough smithing stones for whatever? What if this game gives me so much FOMO, man, because you're like, wait, did I choose the right person? Should I use smithing stones on this item? What if I use them on the wrong item? I mean, it's just like, you're just like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Which one of these many things do I level up? There's so many ways that it feels like you can go astray, that it's just, in Metroid Dread, there is a line, and you know that line that you got to go. Like, you might not know entirely how to traverse the map to get what you need. You might have to learn that, but there is a line that Nintendo has set for you to go to get where you need to get.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel that way in Elden Ring, and it's intentional, and that's fine, but it doesn't feel okay.
So then now, because you played both this Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild, how do those two compare?
So I feel like, and I don't, some people might disagree with me. I feel like Breath of the Wild, and it's a little different because, like I said, I've only put 10 hours into Elden Ring, so maybe I'll feel differently if I make it further. But at the moment, it feels like Zelda pulls the story along. Breath of the Wild pulls the story along more than Elden Ring does. It's kind of like you get out of the thing, you get out of the cave, and then you talk to the king, and he kind of tells you more of the story, and you keep moving the story along. I'm beating baddies and big guys, and they're like, good job. It's not like, oh, you beat so-and-so, let me tell you what happened 100 years ago to so-and-so and move the story along. It's just like, yep, you did it.
You did it.
Go do it again with somewhere else, so there's a story difference. The combat actually is somewhat similar, I would say. I mean, what in Zelda we call a Z target. You're targeting an enemy, you're dodging, you're rolling, you're using your shield when you need to, you can reflect, you can parry. Similar, but Zelda's is more forgiving. I mean, I'll just say that it's like quite a bit. It's more forgiving. And the big difference is, in Zelda, you're walking that line that Nintendo, less with Breath of the Wild, but you're still walking a story beat that Nintendo has created for you. You get this thing, you go to this place, you do this stuff, you fight this boss, you're good. Whereas in Elden Ring, it's like, here's a map. You've come out of the very, very, very light tutorial, which I guess I just learned in Dark Souls is the first time it's had a tutorial. So God bless Elden Ring, I guess. I guess this is a step in the right direction. And now it's like...
Which I heard it was still easy to miss.
Go. Yeah, the tutorial, there's a lot that's easy to miss in that game. But yeah, it's just still there's more of a line in Zelda of like what you got to do. And that when you get there, you're more than likely to have the right items you need at your disposal to do what you need to do. Where with Elden Ring, don't know that. You really have to like search and explore.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
So you said something that made me think of another question too with Elden Ring. And I'm asking all these questions too because obviously Hambone Johnny's in there. He said I should join the dark side and play the games, but I don't know if I have a system to play it. No, I have the Series S, so I could play it there. I don't know, is it on the PlayStation 4 even? I don't know, but because I know a lot of newer games are still on the previous generation, I think. But anyways, I'm curious about it.
Sure.
But obviously FOMO probably too. I don't know, but again, I'm staying away from it because I've already got my Breath of the Wild, so that's why I was asking questions about that too. But when you're playing Elden Ring, where Breath of the Wild feels like, okay, when you get to something along the story beats, or even the side stories, or even if you're not even paying attention to anything else, but hey, what's that thing over there? I want to go check it out as your next goal. It's still satisfying. Is Elden Ring giving you any kind of satisfaction when you're playing it and wanting to keep you going? And is it doing that?
Sure. Well, first up, let me go back. I picked up Elden Ring because in the podcast, in a Game Pass News podcast, I said, yeah, Elden Ring's not for me. I'm not a Dark Souls guy. And then as we clicked the stream off and I started walking upstairs, I thought, I have no right to say that. Like, I have no idea if Dark Souls is for me. Like, I just made that up, out of like what somebody has told me about a Dark Souls game. I said it's not for me, and I thought, well, that doesn't seem good for, that doesn't seem right for our listeners. It's not right for FromSoft, and it's just like me just making crap up, really. And so I thought, all right, this is getting great reviews. It apparently is the best Dark Souls game that's ever out there. So am I willing to drop $60, give them some cash, and go in with the knowledge that I may not like this game? I may literally play it for 4 hours and put it down. And am I okay with basically saying, goodbye, $60? That's a good donation to FromSoft. They're a great company. Go make another one for all the people who love it. And I said, sure, let's do that. I'm okay with doing that. I understand how this could go. And so that's how I went into it. Okay. Having never played a Dark Souls game, and that's why I bought it. Really for my own self. So okay, so is it giving me but here's how it does it. And Sean could attest to this, because twice now I have gone to him and said, Sean, I'm done with this game. It's over. I'm done. I'm never playing it again. I'm moving on. See you later. Sayonara. In fact, it happened today. And then what happened? I made a sliver of progress, which gave me a good feeling of like, I felled a boss that I didn't think I could fell. And it was like, and I'm like, Sean, I'm in. Oh my gosh, you won't believe what happened. I got this guy, like barely, but I got him. And so then today I was like, Sean, I'm out. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's downloaded. I'm going to play that. We're done. And then like I sat down at this point of grace, and they took me to, I don't want to give spoilers. So they took me to another place, and I got a fireball. And I was like, and really like, that was what I was missing. Cause I'm never an up close and personal guy in a game. Like, never. I would rather, even with Zelda, I would rather sit back on a mountaintop and pick off as many people with bow and arrow as I can. Right. And then fly in with a glider and like mop up. Right. But I didn't really have a weapon that I could do that with. So I get a fireball and I'm like, oh, Sean, I'm back in. I'm back. Got a fireball. I'm back in. I'm good to go. And so it does that. It drip feeds you just enough progress where you're like, yes. And, I beat a hermit crab, and I know you're like, a hermit crab, what the hell? But, oh, I'm sorry. My bad, Jesse. But it's not like a hermit crab. I mean, this is like a 2-man tall hermit crab. Okay. So
this is a kaiju crab.
Yeah. I beat a hermit crab, and it was like the biggest thing I'd done. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I beat that guy. He killed me like 5 times in a row. So that's how it drip feeds you. I will say, in exploration, this game is a little, it's it's a tug and pull, and I think they meant it to be that way, but sometimes it pushes away from exploration, where it's like, if you die in this game, your runes, which is how you upgrade your character, they stay where you died. And if you can get back to them, which I guess is this, as I've read, this is a pretty common Souls mechanic. But if you can get back to them, then you can reacquire them. But if you can't, then you lose them forever. Which means that a lot of times, if I start to when I start to collect runes, if I have when I'm getting close to upgrading, that pulls me back from exploring, because it's like, well, crap, if I go over there and I get too far out and I can't get back to those runes, and I don't find a point of grace that is like my new respawn point, that's kind of what the point of graces are, and I don't find one, and I can't get back there, then I've lost them all. And so it's like, then all of a sudden it like pulls me back from exploring, and it makes me start to circle the area that I know I can trust until I get enough runes to upgrade. And then I'll go out and explore while I have less. So, but that might just be my anxiousness of how this game works.
Okay.
So, sorry, that was a lot of talk.
No, that's good. That's stuff I needed to know. Jesse, did you have any interest in playing this type of game?
Not at all.
All right, moving on.
I think back when in the PS3 era, I had a GameFly subscription, and so I think I got the original Dark Souls one day. I played it maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and then back in the envelope, and it went.
All right, that's fair enough. And again, I'm interested in too, because probably the same way you were, Nick, when you see everybody talking about it, everybody's giving it high praises. Saying it's a really good game, is one of the best versions of this game ever, and potentially game of the year. So definitely you want to be able to talk about it with everybody else when it comes time for that. So that's why I've been interested in checking it out. But again, I've been holding off because I'm trying to stay focused on. I'm already playing a big game, and I want to finish that big game. So and not getting anything else. Big. That's
a good. Also, shout out. Abucel says double jumping horse. I do believe this is the first game that I've ever played where your horse can double jump. So
nice.
When I found out that it could do that, I was like, it was just one of those things where you're like, holy crap, this horse double jumps. Like, yeah, all the characters double jump in so many different games, but I don't think there's ever been like a horse that I've rode on that like double jumps. I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool. All right. Well, thanks, Nick, for educating me on Elden Ring there. So from your point of view. So I know you haven't been playing as long as probably some others, but it's still a good point of view. So especially since we're both playing Breath of the Wild, and that's why I figured it'd be good to talk about there. All right. So the other thing I wanted to discuss was Mario Day. Of course, we talked about it briefly earlier about what was announced for Nintendo earlier about the new park in Hollywood opening up in 2023 and the new Lego sets. But they also announced games that were on sale. Now, I think we talked about this in pre-show, right? Where we talked about, did you pick up any? But we were like, actually, probably not, because we probably all already own these games that are usually on sale. So there's Mario Kart 8, Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury, Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Yoshi's Crafted World, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, and Luigi's Mansion with the multiplayer pack set, or just the multiplayer pack if you already have Luigi's Mansion. All of those things are on sale around 30% in the US eShop, except for Mario and Rabbids, which is usually going for the usual 80-something% off. So, which I imagine the gold version is probably heavily discounted as well. Did you guys pick up anything, Mario, or do you already own all of these things, or own the things you want to own?
I already own.
I own the things. Yeah, I'm with Jesse. I own the things I want. The only one there I didn't own was Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. That was the only one I have no desire to pick it up, quite frankly.
I'm surprised that you didn't have any desire to pick it up, considering that there are, the party type games, but they're Olympic games and to play with the kids or something. No interest there to do that?
Not really. No, I mean, maybe if I bought it, maybe I would be like, oh my gosh, this game is amazing. It's been a long time since I played a Mario, and Sonic at the Olympics. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I, but no, it's not gonna happen. Maybe,
Point
but
taken.
no.
Yeah, point taken. All right. So considering that we're heavily into the Nintendo
Right.
stuff, so it doesn't surprise me.
Mecca asked when the sale ends. I just logged into the shop and everything says 3 days left. So games
Okay.
that were $60 are down to $40.
So you didn't buy anything Mario. Did you play anything Mario today? Did you guys do anything to observe Mario Day? Either playing the game or whatever. Did you guys do anything?
I didn't have the time to play anything. I went from work to dinner to picking up my son from work because it was snowing out, and then showtime.
That's about it here too. Yes, I had time to play a game, and I actually played a different game, and I'll talk about that later. But I did not play anything Mario yet either. Nick?
I did not.
Oh, we're so bad. We all okay.
We
That's the
are.
end of the Nintendo Dads. We gotta
Yeah,
go.
seriously.
We didn't play any Mario games. So, all right, but let's joking aside. Obviously, we all are busy, so we didn't have time to do that. So, but as of today, which Mario game is your number one Mario game? What is your number one favorite Mario game that you either like to play or you've liked to play?
You go, Jesse.
Okay,
Start us off.
kind of going back and forth between Odyssey and 3D World.
Okay.
Kind of like, I think like the best 3D-ish, like linear 3D game versus the more open world 3D game. So they both, I liked both of those games. Though I never did finish my second run of 3D World on Switch, but I did play. I played it almost to completion on the Wii U. I got to my son unlocked the final world, but I couldn't beat that final world.
Okay.
But I did beat every other level in the game.
Nice.
Man, it's a tough battle between Odyssey and Galaxy for me. I loved both of those games a whole heck of a lot. I'm gonna say Galaxy though. I'm gonna say Galaxy. I just feel Mario's all about like thinking back, and there's no Mario game that I don't think back and think, wow, that was a lot of fun. But like, I don't know, it was something about the new notion of movement and running around those little worlds that was just like, it blew my mind. I was like, this is so much fun, and using the gravity and all the things they did with that game, I just loved. I just remember having so much fun through the entire game. So
that's the only Mario game I have not been able to play is the Galaxy games. I played all the other ones, but not the Galaxy games.
You're forgiven,
so I
but you
can't
should play them.
Yes, I probably I have the anniversary set or All Stars thing, so maybe I should play that.
So
first
it's probably not the best way to play it, in my opinion. Just because if you're playing it out with a Pro Controller or on the Switch in handheld mode, you're going to want to use that right stick to control the camera, and that's not how the game was designed to be played.
Okay.
It was designed to be played with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, which has one stick. So, if I think Galaxy 2 might be available on the Wii U eShop. So if you still have a Wii U hanging around,
Okay.
I don't know if the original one is available or it's the other way around. I think one, but not the other. I don't remember.
Interesting.
But at least on Wii U, you can play with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you may have to.
Or wait and see what they do with
it'll play
Galaxy
it in
1
Wii
and
mode.
2 eventually on the Switch.
Yeah, maybe.
So, all right, that makes sense. I will have to rectify that at some point.
Mecca says both are available on the Wii U.
I think I have Galaxy on the Wii already. I think I have the disc. So I just never played it. So all right.
We've all been there.
Yes. So and for now I'm gonna have to say that Odyssey is my number one game because just I had so much fun playing that and blew my mind, and in 2017 is a good Mario game. So, and for a long time, I really like the new Super Mario games too, as well. So on the DS, those were some of my favorites as well. So, but yeah, Mario Odyssey definitely number one for me. Speaking of which, there was a question that was brought up by Mecha Dragon. He said it's Mario Day today, and he wants to know: give us your best Super Mario memories of any game. What's your best memory of Mario?
All my memories now, like all my favorite memories now in gaming, like just are all revolve around my kids. Like I don't even know. It's like they all got replaced when I had kids and I started to play games, and that became my favorite. Like all there. So for me, it was we had just gotten done playing Kirby All Stars. Noah was just starting to understand jumping and blah blah blah. And New Super Mario Deluxe Wii U whatever, the one that came out on the Switch, okay, the one that was never going to sell and nobody was going to buy because everybody could have already played it. I'll be honest, I was on that train. I was like, I'm not buying this game. It doesn't make sense. Why would I have it? Blah blah blah. And then I watched one of your guys's let's plays or whatever reviews, whatever it was, and you guys were talking about Nabbit and how he was like great for kids and everything, and I was like, that's so good. So I bought that, and watching Noah move from Nabbit to like Princess, like he started to master it, so then he went to Princess because it's a little bit easier, and then he was like, Dad, I want to be Mario. And it was like watching him progress through the characters to just like owning that game by the end. That's my favorite memory. That's like when he finished that
awesome.
game, it was kind of like, yeah, now he's a 2D platformer guy, like he gets it and he's ready for it. So yeah,
fantastic. Jesse, how about you? Got anything?
Yeah, the memory that I came up with was the summer of '93, before Super Mario All Stars was released on the Super Nintendo. There was an event in the Mall of America where they had demo stations set up that you can just show up and play and see how the game works.
That's cool.
Before release, and I,
Mhm.
my one of my friends from high school and I went there, and I just remember having fun. And I think there was I remember talking with someone. I don't know if it was a local reporter or just a Nintendo rep asking what my thoughts were, but I talked with someone about it, and I I think the thing. I thought it was really cool seeing the old games in the newer art style, with the ability to save your progress for the first time, which
Nice.
was so that's. And then of course when the game came out, I bought it and played the hell out of it.
Yes.
But
I
that was,
loved Mario
that
All
was like
Stars for the
I think that
Super
was one of the
Nintendo.
first times I did, like, I was able to go to a preview event held by Nintendo.
That's cool. That's when it all started.
Yep.
Nice. So one of my favorite memories involves one of my kids as well. So I'll say this one for Sammy. My favorite memory is him getting his Nintendo Switch for Christmas in 2017, and he got the Mario Odyssey Switch. And I believe I shared this video. I shared it on TikTok, and I think I shared it in the community. It's on my personal YouTube page. But his reaction is like the N64 kid, I think, that was screaming and stuff like that. Sammy blows that kid out of the water. He loses his freaking mind, is going bonkers, and all I gave him was the one of the Joy-Cons, because I wrapped one Joy-Con separately from the rest, and I didn't wrap the Switch because I did what we try to tell every parent to do when you're giving their kids a new system and all that kind of stuff. You take care of that stuff, get it started up and charged and updated and all that stuff before you give it to the kid. So I said, screw this. I'm just going to put it all together, and I'm just going to wrap one Joy-Con and give it. And I did this for Sophie too. Sophie got hers the same year. They both kids got it. We were fortunate enough that year to be able to get 2 Switches. So I'll say that. Yeah, So they unwrapped one side of their Joy-Con, and Sophie was sitting next to Sam, and he's losing his mind because he got one Joy-Con, because he's like, obviously he knows where this is going. And I jokingly, I said, nope, that's all you get is one Joy-Con for Christmas. You'll get the rest throughout the rest of the year. But no, I was like, you get one Joy-Con, but he's like, what? And then, he's looking around, but while I'm saying that, off camera, I'm grabbing the Switch out of a box in the Mario case, and I handed it to him, and he starts screaming and losing his freaking mind.
That's so cool.
But as soon as, when he got that, he's ADHD, so he was super focused on Mario Odyssey, playing that game. I let him play mine for a few times and stuff like that, but I knew he was getting that for Christmas, so I didn't want to play too much. But he's super focused, playing it all through as during the Christmas break and all that kind of stuff. And I don't remember how quickly he beat it, but he beat it pretty quickly. He beat it before I did. I know that. So that was one of my favorite Mario memories there. So great stories, guys. And thanks for that question. As always, Mecha Dragon always giving us good content here as far as questions go. But with that, that's what we've been discussing. Now let's move on to events. All right, real quick, I just want to mention that, as always, a reminder that Dinner Table is every third Friday of the month. And this month is the same. We'll have it on, what is that, the 18th? Yep. Mm-hmm. So the 18th at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, because it's after this weekend.
Think about that one, huh?
Yeah, because this weekend is we bounce forward, or spring forward, excuse me. But yes, it's going to be the third Friday. It's a show and tell dinner table, where we're going to be, everybody who joins in can share some of their favorite collectibles, talk about different stories about those things. And I know we've been discussing it a little bit further in our community, Discord community, that we'll probably be talking about Star Wars, especially since the Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser trailer dropped. So we'll probably be talking about that as well. So just a reminder, don't forget, if you're a Patreon or a Twitch subscriber, you can join us in our Discord at 10 p.m. on the third Friday and hang out and talk stuff. And with that, let's take a break for a moment and talk about Manscape. All right. This is going to be fun because I don't usually do the reads. Justin is usually doing this. So bear with me. I'm going to try not to crack up on some of these things I'm going to say. All right. I'm not going to turn off the middle school Tim here. All right. Middle school, 12-year-old to 15-year-old brain. Oh, screw it. I'm still going to laugh. Who cares? Anyway, splish splash. I was taking a bath and I noticed I have beautiful balls. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leaders in below the waist hygiene, are tuning men's shower dreams into the favorite routine with all new ultra premium collection. This all-in-one hygiene skin and hair bundle is designed to upgrade the everyday man's shower routine from head to toe. Your skin, hair, and balls deserve this. Save big by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code NINDADS. NINDADS, NINDADS, for the 20% off and free shipping. Now, here's some things to think about. And I like to talk about this because some of us need this. We need the hygiene routine, right? They've given us a 5-step program for this. They give us 5 steps to think about to do their routine, the Manscaped shower routine. 1, lather on the cologne-infused ultra-premium body wash with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean and moisturized all day. 2, hair care. Wash that up, lather it up, apply the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner that cleanses and nourishes in one step. Step 3, once you hop out of the shower, protect yourself from body odor by applying the Manscaped aluminum-free deodorant. Step 4, have tattoos or dry skin. Let's hit your skin with the hydrating body moisturizing spray. And step 5, apply the Manscaped lip balm, because you can't forget those lips, especially, when you're kissing your spouse or significant other. They would probably appreciate that. No dry lips. Last but not least, don't forget about taking care of under the belt with Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer to clean off any unwanted body hair. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof, so you bet it's a major key to the new shower routine. So don't forget to throw that in there too. Guys, do you have any Manscaped things that you prefer to use or wear? I think, Nick, you were talking about this, that you may not use a lot of products, but you like one thing, and that is...
Yeah, I like the underwear. I really do. I was like, you guys were when you first started, I was like, hey, went on there. I was like, I don't know about all this stuff, but I was like, hey, they say this underwear is amazing. I'm going to give it a shot. It really is. It's great. I love it.
Yes. So. Sammy agrees with you too, because I got him some too.
Nice. Yeah.
He's feeling pretty grown up having those things on. So
I bet.
Jesse?
Yeah, I just recently placed an order to pick up some of the products that everyone's been talking about that I haven't yet tried for myself. So, like the deodorant that you mentioned, the lip balm that you mentioned, and then after I placed my order, it said, "Hey, if you want to get three sets of boxers, the normal price is blah. We'll cut the price down to this." It was like 60% off or something. So I'm like, sure. So I picked up 3 sets of boxers too. So haven't received them all yet. I literally ordered them like 2 or 3 days ago. But
nice. Yep. I'm going to be picking up some more underwear too, because those suckers are comfortable. So, yeah. And that's when I get to use the NINDADS codes, because I can get 20% off and free shipping with that code at manscape.com. So don't forget about that. And thanks again to Manscaped for sponsoring us for the Nintendo Dads and our community. Jesse, back to you.
Pika, pika, Pikachu.
I hate you all.
Yeah, Robo Jesse's still charging from last week, so I have to do it the old way. Pokemon Go events this week. The Festival of Colors 2022 global event, starting on March 15th at 10 a.m. local time through March 20th at 8 p.m. During the event, trainers will get a surprise encounter each day when a snapshot is taken. Oricorio, the dancing Pokemon, makes his Pokemon Go debut. The Oricorio you encounter will be different depending on where in the world they are caught. Bale style will appear in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Pom-Pom style will appear in the Americas, which, of course, I think is the worst of the designs, and that's the one I'm stuck with. Pa'au style will appear in Africa, Asia, Pacific, and Caribbean islands, and Sensu style will appear in the Asia Pacific region. Rockruff will remain in 1-star raids. Therian form Tornadus will return to 5-star raids, and Mega Lopunny will return to Mega raids. When I saw that Tornadus was returning, excuse me. My first thought was, are they going to reintroduce those the Tornadus, Landorus, etc., and then end with introducing Enamorus? I'm not. That's just me speculating.
What's Pokemon Enamorus?
It's a new Pokemon part that's in Legends.
Okay.
It's kind of, the trio. It was originally a duo, and then it turned into a trio, and then.
Oh, okay, that's right. All right.
And then now it's a quartet.
Okay. That's right.
But that's just me speculating. I have no idea if that'll happen. I will be very happy if I'm right, though. It's always fun to have a new Pokemon to catch.
Nice.
Jesse, do you know all the names? Do you ever have to like look up a name, like how to pronounce a name of a Pokemon? Or do you
all
just
the time, especially if it's like a Gen 5 or a game I didn't play. Like I never played Gen 5. I never played Gen 3. So I didn't know those Pokemon when they came out. I didn't play the end game of Gen 6 or Gen 8. So a lot of these all those Pokemon that came out, I've never seen before. In fact, the Pokemon that spawned in Legends in the Ice region, that it looks like an ice stalagmite. it evolves into this larger flat topped thing. I thought that was a new Pokemon.
yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
nope, that was part of the last gen. I just have never seen it before because I never played that far in the game.
Interesting. Okay.
That's interesting. I always wondered. When I'd hear your Pokemon, I'd be like, does he just like know? There's like 1,000 of them. Like, how does he know how to pronounce 1,000 Pokemon?
I know how to pronounce most of them just because
Sure.
you know I've been seeing these names for 25 years, but you know
Yeah,
some of
sure.
these newer ones, like I had to look at Oricorio a few times before, and actually before when I was typing up the show notes, I actually had to practice saying that because I don't know if a lot of these names will read to myself in my head, but
Well,
I just
yeah,
never,
that makes sense.
you never say it out loud.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I can understand like being like, oh yeah, I know that I've seen that name. I know what it is, but yeah, to actually be able to say it.
Yeah, you know, earlier on, I used to watch the anime, but you know, I haven't seen the anime since X and Y, so again, so I don't have that reference of the character speaking the names.
Sure.
All right. Well, speaking of games that we play, let's talk about the games we've been playing. And with that music, and as always, as we do around here for the NINDADS, we let our guests go first in talking about the games they've been playing.
Me? No, thanks. I have been playing Breath of the Wild, which pretty much already chatted about. Elden Ring, which we touched on enough, I think. I mean, I've been playing that. I got it at launch and have been playing it now for on and off a couple weeks. Not a ton. It'll be a game that I like pick at, I think, which you can because there isn't a real straight story. So you can kind of just, be like, oh, I think I'll jump in there and see if I can die a lot. And I probably will. So yeah, there's that. I played and beat Far Changing Tides. And I'm gonna eat my words on our next podcast, so I'll just eat them here. Man, that ends with a real humdinger if you've played them both. So
yes, I'm looking forward to playing this one now too, for sure. I've already bought it. It's on my Switch. I'm ready to play. Especially, it's only, like I posted in our community, it's only 5.5 hours long. It says, and how long to beat. So, one I'll probably try to knock out over the weekend. So take a break from Breath of the Wild and do that. So looking forward to it.
It still lacks any real like what the hey are you doing throughout the whole thing, but the ending, I'll give it that. And it's very pretty, and the music is great, and you're kind of in a ship, and so you submerge a lot, and man, the whole thing just looks pretty, and they do a good job with the feel of you in this boat submerging and blah blah. So it's good. I played the Kirby demo. I don't know if I played it. My kids played it, and I was there, so I'm gonna say I played it. But they absolutely loved it, and not that I don't love Kirby, I do, but they like I was trying to play it, but they loved it. People keep talking about the fact that there's 2 modes. My friends, my 5-year-old and 8-year-old beat the final boss. I don't know what you want to call it in the demo. They beat it on wild mode. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it 2 difficulty modes or not, but they didn't have any problem on wild mode beating the final boss. But man, that game is so much fun. Like, there's just nothing else you can say about it but fun. And I can't wait to play it.
What I've heard about it, I haven't played it myself, so I don't know for sure, is the second mode isn't necessarily harder, but it lets you play with the powered up abilities, which in fact may make it easier.
Oh, well, see, I didn't even know that. So maybe we were playing it easier and I thought we were playing it harder. I don't know. Yeah, but it is just fun. Like it's got that Mario feel where you just like smiling the whole time and just really loving life while you're playing it. Just like Elden Ring. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Going from Elden Ring to a Kirby game has got to be an experience too in itself.
Yeah, that's you need that. And I think that's pretty much it. Those are the three. I got Guardians of the Galaxy loaded up. I'm really excited about this. It's out on Game Pass now. Gonna start that tomorrow. So
I'm excited because I found out I can play it in the cloud, which means I can play it on my phone. But again, I'm trying to stay away from these type of games until I can get through Breath of the Wild.
I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not a big superhero kind of guy. This is kind of like one of those awesome Game Pass moments where it was like, this was really cool that it came. I don't know much about this game at all. I don't really know what it feels like, what it looks like. I know very little other than that Drew and Marty both loved it. And it was like, well, why wouldn't I give it a shot? See what it's like.
Yeah. Justin played it too. And I think he really liked it too. So
I think he played it on the Switch.
Yep. He did the cloud version. So awesome.
Which again, probably not the optimal way to play it, but if it's the only way to play it.
Yep. All right, Jesse, what you been playing?
All right, so I continue. I talked about Voice of Cards, The Forsaken Maiden, a bit last week. I got further in. I'm at the end of chapter 4. I don't think this is the final boss because I remember in the first game, I was max level when I got to the final boss, which I think is level 30. I am like 24, 25, so I'm nowhere near the max yet. And the boss I'm at is pretty difficult. So I don't know if I just need to think of a different strategy or grind a little bit. But I put that game down for a bit to play the next game I'll talk about. But before I do, just like the first game, that this game has issues.
Okay.
At least it's not crashing. At least not yet. Like the first game crashed on me twice near the end game. In fact, one of them was during the final boss in a section where I couldn't save for the last half hour. So I had to play that entire half hour again.
Oh, geez, that's a breaker for me.
So, but the biggest problems I have with this game is the transitions from scene to scene seem slower than they need to be. Like the cards will deal out, and then it's like sits there for like 4 seconds before I can actually do anything. I'm like that. Though I did notice that there was a patch that just dropped, half hour ago when I checked the eShop. The game got an update, so I'm not sure what it updated, but hopefully maybe some of those fixes.
Yes.
The other problem that I noticed is the audio. It was like outtakes in the game, at least 6 or 8 times in my playthrough.
Okay.
And I tweeted about it last week when I saw the third one, and I'm like, I don't know if these are outtakes or if they're intentionally in as a joke, but if they are intentional, you'd think they'd play with it, go more all in on it, but they're not. So it's hard to tell. And then James Jones from like yesterday or the day before from Nintendo World Report tweeted almost the exact same thing word for word. Like, I'm hearing outtakes. I don't know if they're legit or if they're legit outtakes or if they were meant to be put in.
Right.
So, and I replied with, I said the same thing a week ago, and he shared that as well. So he goes, "See, I'm not the only one." So it's just
I'm not crazy.
Really gets you out of it. Like he'll like start reading a sentence and then stop and then just start over again. Once or twice he actually comments on his mispronunciation, and then before he starts over. So that's why I don't think these are.
Somebody just plopped in the audio. It was like, oh, he recorded this here. I'm going to drop it and didn't edit it.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's funny.
There's audio. There's their voice manager or whatever they call it, and needs to give these audios another edit through.
Okay.
Crazy.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So
did you capture, like, do a screen capture?
Oh yeah. I think I put 2 of them on Twitter.
Did you? Okay. I'll have to find that.
Yeah. So they're videos, so you can hear it.
Sweet. I got to see that. That
Okay,
just
then
sounds hilarious to me.
the other game I played is I replayed Dragon Quest One again because of the retro logic is kind of starting up a second show. It's so like this episode was the pilot episode. They basically pick a game and then kind of do a retroactive on it. So kind of like what we used to do with Retro Rewind, but this show I think that's all the show's going to be. They're planning on doing one every other week or every month or so. They don't even know what the title is going to be yet. We just kind of gave it a fake name, Project blah blah blah, and then I said, yeah, it'll probably still just be called blah blah blah, like
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy. Anyway, Dragon Quest was the game that we talked about. We did about an hour and a half recording yesterday, deep diving the gameplay, the background, the story, the music, and a few things.
Nice.
So, I mentioned it before when we first heard about this project a few months ago. I played Dragon Quest One on the Switch, which was my first time playing that particular version.
Okay.
Because when I bought Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, when Dragon Quest 11 was released in 2019, I had just finished playing the Dragon Quest 1 on Game Boy Color, so I wasn't ready to replay it again.
Right. Too soon.
Yeah. So that was my first time playing it on the Switch. So
Okay.
last week they said, "Okay, I want to record this week." I'm like, "Okay, I'll give the game another replay so it's fresh in my head," knowing that it's only took me about eight hours to play through it.
Okay.
So I think I can do this in a weekend or 2 or 3 sittings. So, but I wanted to play a version that I hadn't tried before. So I kind of searched for what's the best version of the game, and the overall result was the Super Famicom version, which never had an official North American release.
Okay.
But there is a fan translation.
Oh,
So I got a hold of that, installed it on my NES Classic, and played it that way.
nice.
So it's kind of what you'd expect it to be. It takes the original Famicom game, buffs up the sound and the graphics a lot like Super Mario All Stars, like I mentioned earlier, and then this is the same game. And they did streamline a few things. Like in the original game, if you wanted to go up or down stairs, you walked on the stairs and then had to choose the stairs option. Now you can just walk on the stairs and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's since this is the first remake of many future remakes, it doesn't have all the quality of life features that you'd see on the Switch version or the mobile version. So like current versions, pretty much the A button is context sensitive. If you're near a person, you'll talk. If you're near a chest, you'll open it. If you're standing on a space that has a hidden item, you'll search it and find the item. But this one still has if you have to choose the talk option, you have to choose the search option. At least they took the take option away and kind of merged it with search for opening chests. So you can see the progression if you've played all the versions between the NES, a little upgrade to the Super Nintendo, and then more upgrades to what's now on the Switch. And as playing again, it took me about 8 hours to play through it. Rolled credits on it, and as we were talking about it last night, I'm thinking I'm probably wanting to replay it now on Dragon Quest 2 because just like the Game Boy version that has 1 and 2 on one cart.
Okay.
The Super Famicom version has 1 and 2 in one cart.
Oh, okay.
So,
and you made it sound so easy, like, oh yeah, I just went and downloaded it to my Classic and played it. It's like made it sound like it was like nothing. It's like, wait a minute, I'm still trying to figure out how to update my Super NES Classic so I could add more games to it.
Well, the process is similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. So I might play that. And I also thought, we were talking about the end of the game. The Dragon Lord gives you a choice. Join me and I will give you half the world. And then you're supposed to say no, obviously. But if you say yes, in the original version, the game will actually like fade to black and will soft lock, and you have to reset the game. And then later versions, it'll actually it'll go like back into the main castle, and you like like you're waking up from a dream. So like, no, that didn't really happen. So until you eventually say no.
Okay.
But if you remember Dragon Quest Builders, that is pretty much, this is what happens if the hero said yes.
Okay.
And
That's
I
right.
kind of wanted to try to play that again.
Okay.
Dragon
but-
Quest Builders?
Yeah.
1 or 2 or both?
Well, the first Dragon Quest Builders is like a sequel, quote unquote, to Dragon Quest 1. And the Dragon Quest Builders 2 is based off of Dragon Quest 2. So
And that's the one if you say no.
Yeah, the first one,
Okay.
the first Dragon Quest Builders is what happens if the hero said yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
So I got possible with the next game, next big Switch game coming out in April for me that I have my eye on. I have a few weeks, but I still have a backlog of things in the Switch I want to play. And then I downloaded Guardians of the Galaxy. I might give that a play. I want to give that a play. So I still have a lot of things. I'm not sure if I'll get to these other Dragon Quest backlog games, but those are games I'm going to want to replay at one point.
What is the thing in April? I'm trying to think.
Chrono Cross, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, Chrono Cross April 7th.
Nice. Okay. So for me, it's what I've talked about already, and a lot of people saw me do over this past weekend during the Gaming for Guru session. My session on Saturday, I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the community, which was a lot of fun. Just again, it's so much fun just to get in there. And I really hadn't set up anything. Usually I just join somebody else like Sean Capri when he's doing Mario Kart and stuff, joining him, or if Marty's doing it, or anybody else who sets it up, I just join. And I've never set one up myself with the community. So that was fun figuring that all out. Setting up just coming in and doing the online play and just having friends join, which was really easy. Unfortunately, for anybody else who wasn't my friend on the Switch, I had to wait until they sent me a friend request and then kind of stop the game and start that all over again, just so I could go out, add the new friends so that they could come and join. I just wish there was I wish there was an easier way for that, but it was still a lot of fun to be able to do that. And then I set up a tournament, did the battle one, which was really fun too. Like we did Mario Kart, the versus battles or whatever they're called, the battle modes.
Mm-hmm.
And we did tournament. Yeah. With the balloons and the shine and
shine.
Coin collecting. So that was just so much fun. So I can't wait till these new courses come out. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun in the community when we do some more Mario Kart nights or whatever. And of course, more Breath of the Wild, getting to where I was, what we talked about already, trying to get prepared for the second Divine Beast, the bird one. Actually, I was going to ask you, Nick, and Jesse too, for both of you guys, if you remember, how many hearts do you actually have to have in order to go against the Divine Beast? Because right now I have like 7 or 8 hearts. Should I be getting more hearts to go up against the Divine Beast, or
definitely helps? I think I beat the first one with only 5, but there's definitely the more the better.
I have meals that'll give me the yellow hearts that add on to the extra hearts. So I've done that. I used them all up, and I had to make more when I was fighting that mini guardian, but trying to figure out how to battle again. But again, I thought it was a good learning lesson for me, even though Ebicel said it was sad, and I'm never going to let him let that down.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
So anyways, all right. So yeah, I'll probably, I don't want to necessarily leave where I'm at to go build up hearts. I'm going to use the yellow hearts, but after I'm done, hopefully if I successfully beat this Divine Beast, I'll go.
Yeah. You're probably going to have to
hearts.
grind out some shrines.
Okay. I'll try to get some more hearts then. And that's what got me in trouble though. Is like I was grinding out shrines, trying to collect a bunch of stuff from the beginning, and just before I fought Divine Beast. But then we'll see.
You'll want them or almost need them by the time you get to the end.
Yeah,
I'll
I
let
think
you know how I have one whole row. I don't know how many this is. I have one whole row and 3 at the bottom for the second row.
I think that's 13. I think you can go 20 max.
13. Okay. Yeah. So I have 13 at the moment. So I'll let you know how hard or easy
okay.
my final playthrough is. So
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
remember before the
with 13
DLC came out, which lets you get additional hearts. You can't have maximum stamina and maximum hearts, so you have to. So for
Pick and
most of the
choose.
game, I picked maximum stamina and was at like 17 or 18 hearts, and then when I got to like the end, the final boss, I swapped them to have as many hearts as I can get.
Oh
okay.
yeah, you got to go to that Oracle thing, don't you? That little like
Yeah.
statue. Yeah, I totally forgot about that guy.
Okay.
I also realized I have 5 spirit orbs just that I'm hanging on to, which is probably at least another heart. I don't know how many orbs you need for a heart.
4 orbs to convert.
Yeah, so I could have another heart. I got to the castle and I did there's a shrine right before the castle and it was like, you have 5 of these down. I was like, ugh. I was like, well, I'm here now. I don't know if I can get back, so I'm just gonna stay here.
All right. Again, I'm having fun with the game, of course. So any new games that I play are going to be smaller games. I'm not going to be playing any big games unless there's something that comes along that I just like, okay, I'm going to have to set aside Breath of the Wild and I have to play this other thing. But
The community
smaller
will
games,
slay you.
yeah, the smaller games I'm definitely going to play because I want to play Far Changing Tides for sure. I'll set aside, a block of time, just knock that out. So, and I also have to play the Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo because I'm wanting to check that out as well. So, besides those 2 games over the weekend, I haven't been able to play anything till more recently, where I did a video on the Pinball FX3 Indiana Jones Pinball Adventure. It's a pinball game on the Switch, and if you've played any of the pinball games, it's the Zen Studios pinball games, and they are phenomenal. I have the Star Wars ones, which are a lot of fun. It plays as close as you can get to playing a real life pinball table as you possibly can get. You can even play it in portrait mode and use the flip grip type thing if you have one of those. And if you don't, we might have one somewhere. I don't know. An extra one we can give away.
I don't think I think I gave them.
Did
all
you give them all
last
away?
year.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All right.
still had 4 that I think I gave them all away last year
All right.
for extra.
And they
life.
might still sell them. I don't know, but I know they don't have any for the OLED. But I did discover, and in the video, I did use the flip grip with the pinball game and had no problem because you can change the orientation so that the OLED can still slide into the flip grip without hitting the volume buttons, which was really nice. So, again, if you love pinball games and you don't mind being able to play them on having a digital experience, this is the way to go. Especially it has some history on it and stuff like that. And I have a video out that I think dropped today on my experience with it. And actually, I recorded it with my cell phone, so I didn't do the screen capture way. I did it with my phone because I wanted to show what it looked like in Tate mode, and converting it that way and playing it that way and stuff like that. So different experience in the video, and hopefully it comes off that way and nobody's disappointed in how I did that. So, and then today I got the code for Chocobo GP, the Square Enix's kart game. If you want to call it a kart game, it's a racing game for Square Enix Final Fantasy characters. And Jesse, I think there's some things in there. Yeah, I don't know. You like Final Fantasy games, so there might be some things in there that you might like.
Early ones, yeah.
Yes. But anyways, it's been interesting to play. I'm only played like the first couple chapters in the story mode.
I bet they have the Chocobo theme though.
Yes, they do. And also some Final Fantasy themes, especially when you win the race. You get the like the Final Fantasy 7 version of the.
I don't like the 7 version.
That's the way it sounds to me, at least, because that's the version. That's the Final Fantasy I played. the most.
Yeah, I like 6 too much. I don't like how what they did with the fanfare with 7.
Okay. So, but it's pretty fun so far. It does have some challenges. It does have, not saying the game has challenges. I mean, it's challenging. So the game has got some challenging parts to it. And so it's like the story mode isn't just a breeze in some cases. And it's just because I'm trying to get used to the controls. So I'm not so used to Mario Kart controls. So they are slightly different. They put their own spin on things. There's no way I'm going to be able to translate what you have to do very well with the Final Fantasy or Square Enix type names they have for some of these mechanics. Like some of the crystals you have to collect, they have names for those.
Like, do they
There's
have a
different
spell upgrade system? Like fire?
yes, because you can go to
Fire,
fire.
and Firaga?
Exactly. So maybe I should have you on with me so you can translate this stuff with me when I stream. So anyways, there is a lot of that. There is a lot of what do you want to call it? Easter eggs. So I was trying to think of Easter eggs in the game. I'm sure that are probably going over my head because I don't play enough of these games. So, but you can download the Chocobo GP Lite, which is free to download. So you can try it out yourself and even use it to race against other people who have the full version of Chocobo GP. So I put that information out into our community to see if by the time I'm ready to stream the game, a let's play of it, if anybody has the light version downloaded, they could join me during the stream and get a game going to see what it's like in that regard. So
yeah, let me know before you, and I'll probably join you if I'm free.
Okay, I'm looking to hopefully do it maybe tomorrow night, for sure Saturday. So
I'll download the client.
Okay.
So-
You can play the story mode, the prologue up in the light version. So because it basically it's just a tutorial. Essentially, it teach you how to do the basics of the race. So, but again, it says light version is the light version players can play the story mode and participate in both local and online multiplayer. So if if you have multiple switches in your house and a couple people download the light, you can race each other in local mode as well. But again, everything is limited.
I still like it when games try to do that, which,
it's really cool.
Goes back
Yes.
to the old Nintendo DS download play.
Yes. And it does carry over. Anything you do in that game does carry over when you do buy the game as well. So anything you collected, anything and everything that you collected, any of the story you complete carries over into the actual game when you buy it. So
Just started my download.
So
Look at you, multitasker.
so again, if you're in our community, just keep an eye on the Let's Play channel. I posted a thread in there about the game. So Spider Shan said he was going to try to join too. So that's what I've been playing. So with that, let's move on into community spotlight. And that beautiful sound brings us to the point of the show where we highlight our guest, Nick from Game Pass News. Tell us about Game Pass News and everywhere people can find you and listen to you.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on and chatting Zelda and Elden Ring and all that fun stuff. So Mario, I really appreciate it. Game Pass News, I'm co-host with Sean Abbott from the UK side of things, and we just talk about all things Game Pass, all things Xbox, whatever it is. We run a weekly show. You can get us wherever you can find a podcast. We're also on Twitch and Twitter and the YouTubes and all that fun stuff. And we're all of it is at Game Pass News. One word, at Game Pass News. Or if there's not an at in front of it, just Game Pass News. Whatever. And so yeah, that's where you find us, and we're just chatting all things Xbox. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff or what's going on with Game Pass and you have trouble keeping up with it because there's always stuff coming and going and leaving and there's new perks and there's blah 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 blah, we'll keep you apprised on what's happening. And then we try to every once in a while get some Let's Plays in, do some stuff on our Twitch and stuff like that. So that's what we do.
And that is Game Pass News again is on your podcast feeds, and you guys also have it on Twitch where you can watch it there. That you guys are part of the Nintendo Dads podcast family, which is awesome, along with the Dads After Dark show and the Retro Logic show, which is pretty cool. So, and we'll talk about those shows shortly. One thing I want to shout out is, again, we're talking about community in this part. The Nintendo Pals, thanks for rating us. I see that there that you guys rated us. I've been trying to keep an eye on the chat here. But as always, you guys pop in here and provide us and come hang out, which is pretty cool. And thanks for everybody else who's been hanging out with us. Again, Mecha Dragon and Regular Dad. I noticed here you said something about I enjoyed Metroid Pinball. I love Metroid Pinball. If they could bring Metroid Pinball to the Switch and allow me to play that in Tate mode, I will be so happy. Again, it's Metroid, it's pinball, and that game is a blast. I have that game still too, and every now and then I fire it up on my 3DS. So, and everybody else too. Who else did I miss? We got Andros in here from the Nintendo Pals again. Thanks for rating us, Caesar. What's up, dude? He's always around when I'm doing stuff. Ms., thanks for popping in with Pikachu there and saying hi. Mecha Dragon with all kinds of comments. I'm so sorry I can't keep up with your comments. And then Hamo and Johnny with Fireball for the win. We were talking about the Fireball there, Nick. So
better believe it.
And Ebicel.
The only way I'm going to make it through this thing.
Ebicel's there too. So listen to me rip on him for the comment there. And everybody else who stopped by, if I missed you there you didn't hear me mention you earlier, I apologize. But thanks to the community for always coming in and supporting us and being here. And Nick, thanks again for hopping on and joining us too and talking all that stuff with us. So
always a pleasure. Thanks for having me, man.
Again, we were talking about the family of podcasts. Not only do we have the Game Pass News crew, which they actually just did episode 43, which you guys were talking about Steam Deck and the PC Game Pass has a new home. Twitch is back on Xbox dashboard, and first thoughts on Elden Ring, which you shared a lot of your thoughts here with us. And of course, the things you guys love that you've seen in the Game Pass. So if you're overwhelmed by Game Pass, for sure, go check out these guys so that you can get kind of help. They will kind of weed through the stuff and help you find some cool stuff to play.
We try.
Also, we have Retro Logic. So if you're a retro fan, this is the place to go. Go listen to Dat Fast John and Sam, and usually Dan, but not this past week. This past week they had special guest Hamo and Johnny, who's also in our chat still. Like I said, he was a host on episode 73, who's also going to be a guest host on our show this next week. So look forward to seeing Hamo and Johnny join us next week. But until then, go listen to him and the Retro Logic crew on episode 73, talk about their favorite 3DS games, Wii U and eShop games, since that's going away, and why we don't talk about sports games. So they don't talk about sports games because Chris HL is not on there, or I'm not on there. That's why they don't talk about sports games.
Oh, I thought that was a Disney song. Sorry, I was so confused. We don't talk about Bruno. Sorry, my bad. I couldn't help.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yes.
Sorry,
yeah.
my bad.
And then, of course, last but not certainly least is our Dads After Dark show with Drew and John. They dropped a mini and they talk about who the hottest video game character is. And they also talk about voting for your favorite to see who makes it to the final 3-way. And if you know the Dads After Dark show, you know where they're going with that. So help the votes and you become a lucky voter who could win $20 in eShop credit. So, and by the way, the votes, do you know what they're calling it? the bracket? Because it's
Oh, I
March.
do.
March Madness. They're calling it the booty bracket. Yes, the booty bracket. People will have
Gotta
the
love those
opportunity to
guys.
vote the hottest video game characters of all time and a chance to win eShop cash. Like I said, $20 there. And don't forget, for all of our community who participates in the Dads After Dark show's monthly mayhem, since they've been doing that for years for us. It feels like years. It's been years, right? Because it started off with tournaments.
Absolutely years. It's
So
been
many
years.
So monthly mayhem ends March 12th for this upcoming session. Went from February 22nd to March 12th. Get in your Mario Party Superstars screenshots so you can get what you need to get for the 4 different games that you can play. So details are in the monthly mayhem channel under the Dad's After Dark show category. So if you haven't been playing already, I don't know if you can catch up or not, but you have until the 12th, which is it's after midnight now. So you got one more day. So get to it, get to those guys and then listen to them. Awesome show. And don't forget to go to any of these podcasts and drop their reviews for them too, as well, especially if you're a listener. Those reviews help them for people, other people, new people to find them. So don't forget about that. With that, let's move on to our own community and their questions, which again, they're always good at providing us questions. First question comes from email from Brad. Greetings. I found your show about a month ago. I can't thank you enough for reigniting my love for gaming. I'm 44. I felt like there was no voice representing me in the gaming community. Lots of incredible talent, just not aimed at a dad with teenage daughters and a lifelong love for Nintendo. I love the show, and you all are just great at reminding all I love about video games. Hoping to get involved in the community and can't wait to see what 2022 has in store. Brad, thank you very much for the comments. And I think we've seen you in the community already helping out there. So thank you so much for that. It helps boost our wanting to do this, always getting that kind of feedback. So, and not thinking we're just talking to, the wall or something.
The La La Land of the internet.
Or just, and especially for people who've been here for years, we appreciate them for being there too. But always enjoy hearing that feedback, especially when someone new comes in. So, and we look forward to you and being part of the community. So, and moving on, questions from the Patreon. So Brolin, I've been playing through Breath of the Wild again for my second run and taking my time with the game. See, he's going through a second run, Nick, and we're just finishing, or you're just finishing, and I'm still going. So I'm absolutely loving it. It makes me even more excited for the sequel. My question is, why do you think Link has long hair in the trailer for 2 while having the normal haircut in another part of the trailer? Is this the same Link? Will there be a time jump, either forward or backward, to tell the story? To me, he doesn't look like the same character with the different hair and clothing. What do you guys think? What's your thoughts and feedback on that? I think I remember, it's been a while since I watched the trailer, but I think I remember there was a difference.
They were careful to not show his face.
Yes.
So I think there's going to be something distinct about his face. But yeah, I think this is probably a time skip thing, like Ocarina of Time, where you can go back and forth between being a kid and a teen, or a young adult.
What if it's like a quantum leap type thing, where you leap into the body of your former self or future self?
Kind of like Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Maybe, yeah, something like that too, I guess.
Because at least Assassin's Creed is that, but you go through your ancestors, versus Quantum Leap was pretty random. But
true.
Yeah, because there's definitely Skyward Sword.
Yeah, we see that Skyward Sword thing. Yeah.
So
that's.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of time. I don't know if it's a time skip or a time jump or a time loop. Something's going on.
Yes.
I agree. They didn't show Link's face because when he turns around, it is a quantum leap thing, and it's actually going to be Scott Bakula. Then turn around, it's going to be Scott Bakula's face right there, and you're like, oh my god, you're right.
until he looks into a mirror and sees Link, right?
That's right, exactly. Yeah. I can't handle it.
But why is he wearing the captain's uniform of the Enterprise?
Right.
Damn. Mind blowing.
Wow.
So much stuff there.
There's got to be, if this game comes out this year, the thing is it going to be enough to be like blow your mind game of the year status to knock off Elden Ring and Horizon Zero Dawn or Forsaken West. Those talks of those games being game of the year. So, and then whatever else game comes out that could be game of the year.
Yeah, that's why they didn't want to announce the title yet, because it's going to be Bakula of the Wild.
I mean, it's definitely something, right? I mean, man, they're so guarded with this game. I mean, no title, so like very, how they're cutting the trailers is very cryptic. I mean, yeah.
MCU style, right? MCU style.
Yeah, there's definitely something here. There's no absolute doubt about that. And I mean, I'll be honest, I one of the few Zeldas I haven't played is Skyward Sword, so I have that too. That's part of the reason I got to get through Breath of the Wild, because I'm going to literally jump right into Skyward Sword after Breath of the Wild.
That's why I didn't buy Skyward Sword, is because I knew I still had Breath of the Wild to play. Why would I buy another Zelda game if I didn't beat another long one and 3D one?
That doesn't stop me.
That didn't stop me either. I'll tell you that, Jesse.
If there's a sale, I'll probably pick it up, but yeah.
Yeah,
right.
So there's definitely something there. I don't know what it'll be though. But
It's going to be exciting to see, and I hope we see it at E3, and even if it's not at E3, sometime at the next direct after that, whatever that might be in August or September or something. But I'm guessing E3 if it's going to be out this year.
And Tim, you hush your mouth about if Breath of the Wild comes out, because not only for like, do I want to see Breath of the Wild 2 come out this year? I need it to come out this year for our video game leak. I mean, I got all my eggs in the Breath of the Wild basket. Okay, so if that gets moved, I'm just gonna pack up that tent and go home. I'm done. So
all right. We need it to come out then.
Speaking of the league, it was nice to see Tim get spanked a little bit after having 3 bangers.
Yeah, the Babylon Falls game.
That Babylon did fall, let me tell you.
I was like, yeah, keep bringing on the winners, and then Babylon Fall.
It fell on his Elden Ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took out one of those 3 games that were doing really well. So.
Also, I was just looking at that. Unfortunately, everybody else agreed with Justin about Aztec, because he took that game and it got a 55 score. So unfortunately, Justin wasn't the only one that thought Aztec was a little sketchy.
Yeah. Yes, definitely something. All right. So next question
says Babylon fail.
Yeah, it was Babylon fail. Oh my gosh. And I'm enjoying Fantasy Critic too. That's a lot of fun.
Loving it.
So it's a lot of fun. Hopefully it'll be interesting to see what happens the next time we play it. So far so good. A lot of fun. But probably easier to say for me too, because I did have some good picks there. So yeah, of course it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody out there is saying that.
I have a lot of iffy picks in mine.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you hit the nail on the head with Pokemon. Kudos, man.
That was awesome. That was a good one.
Hit that one.
I think that's probably why he was the most excited during our direct, during the shit when we watched it. He was like, "Yes, Gen 9, I get points."
Yep.
I was listening to Sean Capri. Sorry, I'll make this quick. And he said, "This is so dumb, but I want this game to do this because I need it to do this for the league. Right. I shouldn't care, but I do." And I thought, man, I feel you. That's exactly how I feel. I'm like listening to the news and I'm like, no. And I'm like, why do I care this much? But I do.
Right. That's hilarious.
And someone countered that on me. So there's someone stuck with it.
Yes. Yeah, same. Justin picked the Babylon Fall counter, so he got the points for that. So
yeah, I saw that.
I was like, oh, dang it. So, all right. Thanks for that question, Brolin. That was a really cool one to talk about. So, Dad's After Dark show. I don't know if this is more aimed towards you, Nick, because the question is, would you rather put in the effort to 100% Elden Ring, kill all bosses and get all trophies, or 100% Animal Crossing, complete all Nook mileage program activities?
Listen, I will be dead. I'll be dead honest with you. Neither one of these are going to be fun in the 11th hour. Okay. I mean, you're going to hate either one of these games when you get to the end. Okay. I mean, because I tried to do Nook Miles and there was a lot of stuff to do. This is going to shock everybody. This is going to shock everybody.
You heard it here first.
But I think I would rather try to beat all the bosses in Elden Ring.
Yes.
Okay. I think like if I just put in the time slowly to grind, even if I had to like spend a lot of time grinding up my character, I think I could get more out of that than when I got down. And the only reason I may change my tune because I'm looking at knowing how the Animal Crossing 100% went. And when I got down to those last like 6, I was calculating the months that I was going to have to go on every day just to do like one particular task to get the Nook Miles. And some of those were going to take me like 4 or 5 months. And I would have had to go on every day and do one particular task to get this one thing so that I could just kind of uptick that number until I got that final Nook Mile achievement. So I think Elden Ring. But like I said, I'm going to hate either game by the time.
Why does that 100%ing Animal Crossing with the Nook Miles sound like someone's purgatory or something?
Because
someone's personal hell or something.
Yeah.
Hades, yeah.
Totally. Okay. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I was on that train for a while, and actually, I think that might have been what like just sunk Animal Crossing for me, where I finally was like, I can't do this anymore. There wasn't anything to do but that one goal, and I was like, I'm done. And I'll be honest, I haven't even finished the DLC yet. So there you go.
I haven't touched the DLC. It was there. I just couldn't bring myself to play it. It was like I did my time in Animal Crossing, and I'm like,
I feel that. I feel that a lot.
A lot of hours in Animal Crossing. I just couldn't do anymore.
Yeah. When I stopped playing back in like July 2020. I haven't gone back.
Well, we know that.
Listen, right. It was a triumph, Jesse, just to get you to buy it. Okay, just that you bought it was victory enough to the dad.
Yeah, I was a late start. I bought it in mid-May, so like I missed, which is probably a good thing. I missed the whole Easter egg debacle.
Yeah, that was
that probably would have turned you off right then and there.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
What is this crap? I'm out of here. All right. Solo Something has a question. And by the way, Dad's After Dark show, great would you rather question. That was awesome. Solo Something, with Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser coming out this week, do you see yourself as a Jedi, a bounty hunter, or a Sith?
I'm probably somewhere in the middle of Jedi and bounty hunter.
You're a comma.
Yes.
Okay.
That was clever. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I love it.
Jesse picked comma. Okay. No, I get it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have the patience to be a Jedi, but I don't have the courage to be a bounty hunter.
See, there's a choice on here that's not on here. And I don't know if it's actually considered part of the current, because I'm not deep into it as a lot of people are, but it's, what is it, the gray Jedi or the gray force wheelers, where they're like, they use both Jedi and Sith force powers.
Yeah, you're basically, my understanding is you're force sensitive, but you've never gone under full training of either side, so you just picked up things of both sides.
Yeah. Well, but I thought there was a belief system though too, where it was
could be
where you feel like you can use both sides. You were able, there was a purpose behind that, and maybe there is a different part of the force people that follows. But of these three, I'd probably pick Bounty Hunter. As much as I would love to be a Jedi or even how cool, like I'm in Darth Vader, if you can see it back here. It's like I got all kinds of Darth Vader stuff. How cool a Sith thing is because they wear all black and have a red lightsaber, and those are my two favorite colors, but I don't want to be a bad guy. So I figured, especially with the Mandalorian and the return of Boba Fett and how they made him look cool. Again, I mean, he was already cool to begin with, but I mean, to give him a story and all that to go with it. So Bounty Hunter, I think, is probably where I would go.
The book
This
of
is the way.
Mandalorian?
Yes, this is the way.
I'd be a bounty hunter. Yeah,
All right.
I'll be a bounty hunter. I'll probably be a poor bounty hunter. I probably will suck at it, but out of all the things, that'll probably be the best for me. So I'll go bounty hunter.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being a bounty hunter like the Mandalorian with the black lightsaber, whatever I forget what that lightsaber is called.
Dark saber.
But the dark saber, yeah. So that would be cool. I'd take that. Another great question. That's probably one we could probably go a lot deeper in, I'm sure, especially on the dinner table show.
But,
Yeah,
I'm looking
that's
forward to that series.
Yes. The
Starts in
Obi-Wan
end of May.
Kenobi teaser. It's like, oh, goosebumps with that. I got just like all these shows are like tying up things I think that all of us fans wanted to see.
I got polls that's been there since 1983.
Right. Yes. So, all right. That's a show, guys.
Yay.
Let's close her out. Again, Nick, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us and sitting in the hot seat, if you will.
Thanks for
And
having me.
talking all that stuff. Yes. And say hi, Sean. Say hi to Sean to us for us. We'll have to have him on again sometime too. So again, thanks for everybody who stopped by as well on our Twitch channel, on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching in any of those areas, especially in YouTube, we have 6,024 subscribers. Thank you to every subscriber out there. Thanks for taking the time to hit that button, subscribe. If you're listening to us there, don't forget to hit that button. Or if you're watching right now on Twitch or watching any of the replays, you can also follow us there. We got 1,206 followers there on Twitch. Thank you to the 31 Twitch subscribers we got. We jumped up there thanks to the Gaming for Guru weekend. We got some gifted subscriptions there, which was really cool. So we got 31 subscribers this month. So let's keep it going. That'd be awesome. And don't forget, if you're a subscriber, you get to come hang out in our Discord community and do some of those activities we got going on. And thanks for sticking around with us after the ad read. Hopefully I didn't bore you with the Manscape ad read. If you were hanging around there, don't forget you get 20% off there at Manscaped and get free shipping with code NINDADS, NINDADS. You can also use that code ADGOODER for the Gooder glasses, which I've got sitting here, my blue ones and my yellow ones. You get 15% off there. And you can also use NINDADS at glitchenergy.com for 10% off there. So lots of opportunities where we're trying to get some codes for saving some money and things that we use that we pass on to you guys. So thanks again. And it also in turn helps us again, along with our Patreons. Speaking of Patreon, don't forget to go to Patreon. You can subscribe there. And for $1 or more, you can be a Patreon subscriber, or you can go all the way up to $30 like our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, Antonio Contranio, Solo Something. Thank you to the three gentlemen there who continually give us our Patreon producer status and subscribe there. Go to our website, nintendodads.org, to see the newly updated site. We have updated some things there, so it's easier to follow all of our podcasts, our family of podcasts there. You can check us out there. You can see the videos, you can see our tweets, you can see our podcasts, you can see our social medias, you can see things we like or don't like, all that kind of stuff. Lots of information there, lots of ways to catch up with us there. Or just go find Nintendo Dads in any of our social medias, or the Patreon, as I said before. or you can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS or 929-256-3237. I don't think we got any voicemails recently, so let's hear some voicemails. Let's spam the voicemail. I'd like to hear a bunch of more voicemails. So big thanks to OC Remix, to the music you're hearing now and used throughout the show. Thanks to OC Remix for those. Download your favorite podcast app of choice to listen to us there. And don't forget, if you can leave a review or rate us there, like iTunes or the Apple Podcast tool, whatever that is. I forget what it's called nowadays, but you can give us a review. 5 stars only. Anything else goes to the Mega Dads. Remember them. Anything less, 3 or less, I'll say. But give 5 stars to all of our podcasts, the family of podcasts. That always helps searching. For me, for our special guest Nick, and for Jesse, and for those who aren't on the show, Justin and Marty, thanks for stopping by. We're signing off. Check you later, peeps. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
We sound like the goddamn Nintendo dads all of a sudden.